Okay, so after thinking about it for a while, I decided to do a little video over something that I think could really help save a lot of people money. If you're aware of this, then it can really help you in the long run, especially in harder economic times. Really important, want to save money. Especially when people are coming out of college, they're going to be starting to take out loans for things like houses and cars. So I thought this would be a good thing to help people out with and show some of the ways that lenders calculate interest on things that you're going to buy in the future. So there are two methods that I'm going to go over. There's actually more than that, but these are two very prominent ones that you'll see a lot. Okay, and just for simplicity and for easy numbers, we're going to assume that you have an $8,000 loan at 10% interest for 4 years. These are really simple numbers, so it'll be easier to follow. The first method that we're going to go over is called the remaining balance method. The remaining balance method is the ideal type of interest that you want to be paying if you have a loan. So if you have a car loan, if you have a mortgage, then this is the ideal type of loan that you want. And the thing that's important about the remaining balance is that you are only paying interest on the remaining amount of the loan. So that's very, very important. So as you can see, we're starting with an $8,000 principal, and you can see the first year's payment right here will be $800 in interest. So 10% off of the $8,000 loan gives you $800 for your first year's interest. Now for the remaining balance method, you're going to assume that your payments, at least for this loan, are $2,523.77. There's a calculation to do that. I'm not going to go into the calculation. You can do it on Excel. It's actually a pretty easy calculation to do. So you have your interest now. You know that you're going to be paying $800 in interest. So from the principal, you're going to subtract the $800 from your payment of $2,500. You're going to subtract that, and then the remainder you're going to subtract from the principal. So that's the actual amount of principal that you've paid. That's the amount of the note that you've paid off. So you will have paid off, and you will be down to $6,276.23. Now, what makes this the remaining balance method is the interest that you'll pay next year. The interest that you'll pay on the remainder is based off of that second number, the $6,276. So your interest next year will be $627.62. So 10% of the remaining balance. Next form that we're going to go over is another form that you'll see a lot, and it's called the add-on method. The add-on method assumes that you pay the interest in a set amount. So if you have $8,000 loan, 10% interest for 4 years, you're going to be paying $800 a year. So $800 per year for 4 years, 800 times 4, gives you $3,200, a total of $3,200 interest. So you're going to add that total to the initial amount, which was $8,000. You're going to combine those. That will be the total amount that you're going to pay. You'll then divide that by 4 years, the length of the loan, and then that will be your payment, the amount that you'll pay per year. Now the reason that people who lend like this method is because, as you see, you're still paying $800 a year all 4 years. So the interest as you go down doesn't change. So you're still paying interest on principal that you've already paid off. That's really important. That's the big difference between the remaining balance and the add-on method. So you can see the interest on that one is going to consistently go down as the principal goes down. On the add-on method, the principal, the interest, your entire payment will remain the same the entire time, which sounds really nice to a lot of people because I mean, you know exactly how much you're paying, and in all honesty, this calculation for interest looks really simple, so you understand what's going on. So a lot of people, whenever they have a lender offer them this, it makes sense, you understand what's going on. But for the remaining balance method, as you can see, the number, the payment that you're making, very odd number, you have to do a fourth degree polynomial in this case to calculate it. So it's not easy to understand, so a lot of people don't like that. But in total, in the long run, you're actually going to be paying less because you're paying less interest over time. So that's where this really comes into play, especially when you're looking at, let's say, a 30-year mortgage where your interest is constantly going to be going down because you're paying off principal over time. Your interest is going to go down over time. If you use the add-on method, your principal and your interest, the entire payment that you're making per year, per month, whatever it is, it's going to be the same throughout the entire loan. So all the way to the end, you're making the same payment, and in the long run, you're actually going to be paying more interest than what they're saying. Internally, the interest that you'd pay on this loan would be something closer to 12%. And that's the internal rate, the internal interest that you're paying. So, again, very important as you're leaving college, something to remember. Know what type of interest you're paying. There's more methods than this. And like I said, there's more methods to calculate interest than this. There's also the discount method where you'll pay all of your interest up front, which in that case you're paying, in the long run, you're paying even more internal interest. So it's just one of those things that be aware, know what you're getting yourself into, read the fine print, understand how your interest is being calculated, know how much you're going to pay in the end. Don't just look at how much each individual payment is going to be. Look at the long run, and you'll be thankful later.